When Ric Diez threatened to take Hans Kim's spot as a regular, it's fair to say that Hans wasn't too happy about the situation.
You have this Ric Diez who for 2 weeks in a row keeps dropping your...
For no reason.
That smile.
How would you like it if someone came to your job and was like, hey, I could do better at your job. I challenge you.
But now that the dust has somewhat settled, a few questions have been floating around my head lately. Did Hans Kim deserve the hate? What impact does this have on Ric Diez's career in stand-up? And what impact does this have for the regulars and Kill Tony as a whole? We're going to explore all of that in this video, so get comfy. But for those who are unaware or just need a little refresher, then here's a brief summary of the rivalry between Hans and Ric. You see, Ric has always wanted to perform on Kill Tony, and he got his opportunity when his name was pulled from the bucket.
For your next comedian out of the bucket, Ric Diez.
Now, it's fair to say that Ric killed it on his first ever live performance on Kill Tony. He not only got a standing ovation, but he also got the Kill Tony golden ticket, which would give Ric the opportunity to perform on numerous episodes of Kill Tony. It's fair to say that Ric grabbed this opportunity by the balls, and he used his appearances on the show to call out long-time regular Hans Kim. With this rivalry brewing, Tony put the two of them in a head-to-head battle, which would take place on New Year's Eve.
Next week, your final week in town, 60 seconds versus 60 seconds. For the regular ship, it will be Ric Diez versus Hans Kim.
Now, Hans would end up winning this battle, but for Kill Tony fans, it still seems pretty split on who actually won between the two contestants. But with that out of the way, does Hans Kim actually deserve the hate? I think he does, but only to an extent. This resentment displayed by fans seems to stem from two key events, those being Hans's initial reaction to the call out,
2 weeks in a row keeps dropping your...
For no reason.
and his post-victory behavior.
More complex, more intricate,
Yes.
than bullshit, two-dimensional, 1940s comedy that we've progressed past. Try being yourself, bitch. Try being yourself.
Oh.
Who are you? I have no clue who you are. Are you this character? Are you this two-dimensional character, you little bitch? Be who you are. All these people are themselves. They're not a fucking European character.
Any final words?
Get a good look. Last time you're gonna see him.
Ruthless.
And I understand why some of you watching may feel some resentment towards him, but can you blame him? When someone comes along and threatens to take your job away from you, it's never fun. And what makes it even worse is that you know that the person trying to take your job is fully qualified to do so. Listen, Ric is a funny guy, he really is. And I think that the anger that was demonstrated by Hans, it shows how much this opportunity really means to him, as he's been working for years to make his dream into a reality. However, it is important to recognize that some of Hans's antics, like not being humble in victory and cutting Ric off whenever he was trying to speak.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. I love Hans either way. He thinks I hate it, but I don't.
Bye. Boring. Go back to your fucking Instagram.
Bye.
May have led some to believe that Hans was just kicking a man while he was down. Or was he? Because despite losing to Hans, I feel like Ric might actually be the real winner of this situation. I mean, his ballsiness and his fearlessness that was shown on Kill Tony may have the potential to catapult this guy's career into something special. Here's the thing, guys. People love an underdog story. Think of movies like 8 Mile and Rocky. How could you not root for the underdog? Especially when they're faced with a near impossible task. Ric coming onto the scene and challenging a more experienced and more well-established comic in Hans Kim would mean that he automatically has people on his side. Combine this with his self-deprecating style of humor, and you have a recipe for success and a person that people are very willing to root for. But I think the exposure that Ric would have gained from this fiasco should really serve him well, and I hope that he can leverage this opportunity to build a name for himself in the world of stand-up. And that, my friends, is how you grab an opportunity with both hands. So does Ric's rendition of a WWE promo event have any significant impact for the future of Kill Tony and its regulars? regulars? I think it does, and it's a pretty big one. I feel a big reason for Hans feeling the way he did is because no other contestant has challenged Hans the way Kim has. Maybe Hans just got a little complacent. And I think that the behavior demonstrated by Hans just shows how much this opportunity truly means to him. This could have reignited that fire, and I'm not saying that that fire was never there in the first place. I'm just saying that that fire or that flame is a lot bigger now. I think Ric's boldness sends a message to the other regulars to not get too comfortable, because if Ric took this opportunity, then what's stopping somebody else from doing the exact same thing and doubling down on what Ric has done? And I think a byproduct of this would be higher quality performances from the regulars on Kill Tony. In my view, Ric sent the message loud and clear. He basically said, you guys better watch yourself, because this place, this position that you're in, it is not permanent. And maybe this could light the fire in some of the regulars on Kill Tony, as they now have something worth fighting for, but thanks to Ric, to not take this position as a regular on Kill Tony for granted. This isn't a permanent position, and the quicker it can come, the quicker it can go. And I'm not saying that any of these comics don't believe in that or have that mentality, but I'm saying it's definitely being reinforced. So where exactly am I going with this? Well, I think this demonstration by Ric could really improve the performances on Kill Tony. Maybe this could inspire the regulars to continue to work on their craft, as they know their position can come under attack at any moment. It is very similar to combat sports, in the sense that getting the belt is arguably easier than defending it. So maybe we could start seeing some higher quality sets due to some outside competition. Or maybe I'm just being way too optimistic as always. But be sure to leave your comments down below, like the video if you've liked it, subscribe to join the growing family. You guys are the best. We are on that road to 250 subscribers. So take care, and I will see you all in the next one.